Hello there, how you doing? Just waiting a few seconds because it seems that the stream starts like a few seconds after I push the start button. So I just don't want my voice to be cut out. Hope you're doing alright. And this is day 8, I hope I remember, of the Avignon Art Festival. And right now it's like past 11. So my show is at 23:30, very late at night. And the place where I perform is also it's basically a night hangout in Avignon, so I usually get to bed like at 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I'm not exactly a party animal, so to speak. I don't smoke. I don't drink that much. I do drink. I like wine, and I'll tell you probably during this video why I like wine. And but like I said, you need time to recall that it's always a long day for me here in Avignon. It really gives you the sensation that uh, you'll be staying here for a month rather than 8 days or something like that. Anyway, today's topic, my rant for today is: do you have a long-term strategy for your show? Now, why am I here? Maybe some people. I think there's a few people interested in what I'm doing. I don't think this channel is going to have lots of subscribers, but if you do like what I'm doing, just like the video and subscribe. But anyway, um, I do theater, like I said, professionally. That's my life. Believe it or not, I'm an engineer. I have 2 degrees in, not one, but 2 degrees in engineering, and I used to be very good at math, like really really good. And because I saw math as a form of art. But anyway, I'm digressing here. And now I'm doing this professionally full time. And I've been doing this professionally like full time, 100% for, oh God, 15 years now, something like that. Then COVID came and whatever. But just to give you an idea, in 2018, I did 169 shows. Okay? So that's basically a show every other day. Which was even too much, to tell you the truth. I mean, it gets to the point where you're just doing so much. And I work a lot in the winter. I have spoken shows. You can go on Amazon, you can find not all of the scripts, but a lot of scripts of mine. Yeah, and then I do workshops. It's something people have asked me to do right now. And I've been doing them since basically after COVID. So usually they ask for a show and a workshop. And I produce for other people. Last year I had 18 people on the payroll. I run a company as well, a theater company. I run an agency, but that's something I do on the side. I created, organized, and directed a physical theater festival from 2020 to 2022. Now that was luck, because the first edition of the festival was from the 14th to the 20th of February 2020 in the city of Alba, which is a small city in Piedmont, northern Italy, famous for the chocolate spread known as Nutella. Okay, and yeah, we're very lucky. And then on the 21st of February, we just heard about COVID and everything shut down after that. So, but still, I managed to organize the festival in 2021 and 2022. So what I'm saying is, this is more just, just me performing on stage. I mean, there's a larger part you don't see, which is really time absorbing. Okay, so these, in a way, although it sounds very very twisted, these are my holidays. I mean, I just because I feel very privileged. I just enjoy what I'm doing, and this is the greatest gift you can have. Seriously, I mean, had I $1 million in the bank or €1 million, depending where you're watching this from, I would still do this. So my life would not change a bit. And I'm a very frugal person, and that's something I like. When you hear, worry about what kind of clothes you're wearing and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm digressing. So the topic for today is: do you have a long-term strategy for your show? And so what I'm doing here throughout this summer is taking this show, Shaolin Clown, and honing it to perfection. Basically, perfection doesn't exist, but to a point where I'm pretty sure I can tour with this show wherever I want, even do big theaters and stuff like that. Now, this is something that came up in the presentation of the Edinburgh Fringe yesterday. So here in Avignon, there's a series of seminars, and this year there's a series of interesting seminars related to foreign festivals out there, international festivals out there. And yesterday was the day of the presentation of the Edinburgh Fringe, and no, I think Sean, that's her name, one of the two presenters said, one thing people do at the Edinburgh Fringe, they have a long-term start strategy for their show. So she mentioned the name of a person. I forgot her name of this person. She's a theater producer. I think she's a woman, and then basically she came to Edinburgh. She did a very small venue, tweaking her show continuously. And then the year after she was in a bigger venue, and then the year after was in a much bigger and larger venue until she ended up in the West End after 5 years. So, and that's pretty much in a way. Okay, I'm not gonna end up in the West End. I utterly don't care. But what I'm doing, it's the same kind of strategy in a way. So, I mean, you have the opportunity to take a show, a physical comedy show, and really perform it 5 days in a row in Prague. Then accidentally, I was in Athens, twice in Athens. Then you come here and you do, 3 weeks here, and then you go to Edinburgh, another 3 weeks, and bam, 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 bam. It is very tiring, but you really bring your show to perfection. Now, if you go to a fringe like Avignon off and the Edinburgh Fringe with that kind of mentality, of course, you don't want to spend a lot of money in a nice venue, stuff like that, because your show still needs work. Having said that, you don't want to go with something utterly terrible. So before I actually arrived here, I had the chance to perform it. In 2023, I was in Estonia. I did the Tallinn Fringe Festival, and that's where the show actually was given birth. Okay, with the physical theater shows, silent comedy, it, they're very tough. And also, I didn't want stuff like audience interaction where I take a person and put this person from the audience, an audience member, and I take this person to the stage. I just didn't want that. I wanted 50 minutes clean. I'm on the stage. The audience is sitting down there, and I do my stuff. If I interact, it's gonna be like a sort of vibration between me and the audience, so to speak. And that's because in my head I was already thinking big. I said, well, maybe I'm gonna do this in a 500 seat audience. I don't wanna, and to me it just looks cheap. The easiest thing you can do is take a member of the audience, put him on the stage. It basically means you don't have a story. That's what it means. Okay, and this is my take. And so I decided to go for the flop. And this is entrepreneur I know who I really admire, and he told me oftentimes, I usually go for the flop rather than the top because everybody wants the top, but there's only really a handful of people that are able to create gold out of the flop. So what is a flop? The flop is, I'm the last show of the festival, so audience attendance is very low in a way. Although it's catching up. Yesterday was a great day, and I'm doing the free fringe in Edinburgh. I'm not in the official Edinburgh program. I'm not sure. May do the online thing. I mean, in Edinburgh, what happens? They have this paper brochure, and then you can also be on their online program, and you can basically register the even in August as you're performing. But I don't think I'm gonna do that because it makes you lazy. By the way, yeah. So it's a long story, but like I said, today's topic is: do you have a long-term strategy? So I'm basically doing two major events for the price of one. So cost-wise, first of all, it's good. Another thing to give you an idea, this show, the one I'm doing, Shaolin Clown, I don't use a technician. It's all done on a single soundtrack. Okay, I will go explain about the show, how it's constructed and built and so on and so forth, maybe in another video. But basically, and also it's very light. It fits inside a rucksack, and I can put it underneath the seat of an airplane. Because in my head, I wanted to tour extensively, and given I have experience, I said, okay, this is gonna be a super light show. And also, the less stuff you have, the more creative you become. Okay, it's a rule of life. The less money you have, the more your brain is geared towards, you know, doing something with scarce resources, and yeah, and also the more difficult it becomes. Okay, just very difficult, and to entertain an audience into a story and just using a few props, so to speak. That kind of reminds me of a story. He's an Italian guy, he's an engineer, he's inventor of a microprocessor. I think it was like the first microprocessor ever invented. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Z80 or something like that. And this guy did not have any money at all. He invented the first microprocessor, it was a huge success. And then Intel hired him and gave him all the money of the world, and he was unable to create anything. So sometimes, like the Chinese say, necessity is the mother of all inventions. But anyway, this is my long-term project. So taking this show, honing this show, networking, getting to the vibe where one thing as you, it's not as you grow older, but as you are maybe successful in what you do, you have the tendency to lean on that and to forget, to lose that kind of hunger that makes you creative and so on and so forth. And last year I wrote 4 shows. Next year I want to write 3 shows, and I like challenges. I always like to put myself sort of out of the comfort zone. So this is the first time I'm doing like bam, 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 bang, 3 major fringes in a row. So far I'm feeling well. I was sick a couple of days ago, but that happens. Probably was going to get sick within a 3-month period anyway, so it really doesn't change a bit. Yeah, so networking, getting to know people, getting to see shows. Although I'm not seeing that many shows, that's something I regret. Seriously, last year I think it was like almost 30 or something like that. And but getting to the vibe, getting to the flow. I live in a very small village. I don't come from a small village. I come from Turin, northern Italy. But I live in a very small village now with 350 inhabitants, which is full with wild boar. It's in the countryside in the north of Italy. It's beautiful, beautiful. I mean, Napa Valley, forget about it. Where it comes, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. We not show, I will not mention it because I want anybody coming there. So I just want it for myself. And but I need, to interact with other people. And a couple of days ago, we had this major, famous French clown that came to see the other show I produce here. I'm here with 2 shows actually. The other one, it's an established show. I mean, it's been coming here for 3 years, and the actress who is on the stage really wanted to come here. So basically, I'm teching it as well in order to save money and stuff like that. But anyway, and the relationship with this clown, speaking with this guy, just made me realize that I want to explore. I want to explore, the skill of making sounds with my mouth a bit more. And yeah, I just never, because if you live in your own bubble, you don't realize, okay, well, man, I can do this. I've never seen this before. And this guy's like an expert in bruitage. That is to say, to make sounds with your mouth. And I said to myself, that's interesting. Maybe I could do a workshop about it. One thing about this job, you just never stop learning. And when I finished Lecoq, I'm Lecoq trained. Maybe I'm giving you too much information, but in the future, we should add the videos and stuff like that. So basically, Lecoq is a method invented by, developed, I would say, more than invented by this French gym teacher. It was a gym teacher, Jacques Lecoq, and there's a famous school in Paris, which is now run by his daughter. But I was lucky enough to go to this school in Turin, which is run by an American guy. His name is Philippe Radice, and he was basically a pupil of Lecoq in Paris. So like a disciple, so to speak. He just opened up this school in Turin. And but then after I finished the school, I only did 3 workshops. One workshop was a clowning workshop with Paolo Nani, which was very good. It kind of helped me to find my style. Then I did another workshop in puppetry with Nabil Trenta, who is an Australian guy living in Amsterdam, an exceptional puppeteer. And what I liked about that is the fact that he's not a puppeteer, as he's not, he's hiding behind the curtain and manipulating puppets and so on. No, he actually interacts as an actor with the puppets. And I said, this is very helpful. I can have seven actors and not paying them. I know it sounds cheap, but dramaturgically it's just very nice. So I started using puppets in some of my shows, not on this one. And then, last but not least, in September 2014, I did a workshop with Philippe Gaulier, who is an ex-pupil of Lecoq. He just opened at the school, very prestigious school. Sacha Baron Cohen, Bort. He studied at Philippe Gaulier School, Emma Thompson, and so on. And I did a 5-day workshop with him, and he made me do Benito Mussolini for 5 days. And then I decided, I already had in my mind the story of a story that I could use with these guys. So basically, I said, okay, wow, I'm gonna do a show about Benito Mussolini, which I did. It's kind of clownesque, but historical the same way. And if I ever go to become a celebrity, which I'm not, it's gonna be for that show. And I have my main YouTube channel right now. I just play this Benito Mussolini guy all the time. And so this is a strategy. Okay, you develop this show, you network, you realize where maybe your weakness is. Right now, in my mind, next workshop I'm going to do, speaking about workshops, I'm going to do a workshop of bruitage, how to produce sounds with your mouth. It's stuff I can do, but I know I can bring it to another level. And like I said, you just never stop learning. One thing which is good about clowning, you're basically allowed to do whatever you want to. If you play the guitar as a clown, you don't expect the clown to play like Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. Doesn't mean that you gotta do something badly, but the audience kind of forgives you in a way. But the more skills you have, the better it is. And it's kind of amazing. But I don't use those skills that much. They come maybe in a flash during the show and stuff like that. But it's good, especially if you're producing, composing music. That's a big thing for me. Like I said, I have a large collection of musical instruments in my house. I use DAWs. I'm really into artificial intelligence right now. If you guys are using Suno, you know what I'm talking about. And just like you really have to study, and I know more stuff than 20 years old. I just realized, I thought, oh my goodness, maybe I'm not gonna, catch up with it. But really, as you are involved, you are in the flow of this stuff. You are the forefront, and the information comes to you before it gets to other people, stuff like that. So, like I said, sorry, this is my daily rant. This is my long-term strategy. Now, I don't know if I'm going to vlog after this, after Edinburgh. Personally, I like it. It's not me, something very new for me, because usually I was always on the stage, and I like my private life, to tell you the truth. I really divide work from my private life. So, but I just started doing so much, and I would like to, leave a record of it for other people. And that's why I also wrote the guide, the Avignon off rough guide you can find on Amazon and stuff like that. So let's see how far it goes. But so far, I think it went well beyond my expectations, because I was not supposed to be here. I mean, this happened like in the last 2 months, literally. And since April, I mean, it happened like in a flash. But that's another story. I don't want to bore you with that. So overall, a day, it's good. Like I said, do you have a long-term strategy for your show? And I hope this can be inspirational for people who do not live, in a large city or whatever. And I think the beauty probably of YouTube. I was going to say social media, but I think there's some social media which I consider, I'm sorry, I must say, I'm sorry, utterly stupid. Okay, but YouTube is just, you know, it's full of useful content. You can find, music tutorial. You can learn languages. I think from the educational point of view, it's just amazing. It's a God-given gift. So for the few of you who are not, based, in a large city, London, New York, or whatever, but maybe you are like in a small city or in a village, and you think, oh my goodness, I want to do this. Maybe I'm crazy. You're not. That's my message. And I hope you can find this inspirational. You can do it. Mind, it is a narrow and twisted road. It's not easy at all. But really, if you have it within you, sooner or later it will explode, and you're either gonna implode within or we just explode outside. Okay, so that's my message. Yeah, I think it's been long. It's 20 minutes already. So let's see how it goes. And I think by the end of August, I will, you know, I just assess, you know, how went it well from where I started, the point I've reached, and I can look back and say, wow, this was great. You gotta enjoy what you're doing it, otherwise you're gonna crack mentally, physically, and so on. I do enjoy it. Today, for example, I'm gonna stay home once again, maybe put up a poster. There's a very interesting seminar I want to attend, but yeah, you really have to enjoy it. Otherwise, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're not doing it for the money. The money will, if you take care of theater, theater will take care of you, but it can't be done for the money. And one thing about people that are doing theater, and even street artists and so on, it really is, you know, a community of people that kind of help each other because there's not that much money as in film. With film, it's completely different. I know the film world as well. Actually, today I gotta shoot a self tape for a film, but it's completely different. It's very narcissistic in a way. With theater, the fact that it really is like being a war, and so there is some kind of respect between soldiers who fight in the trenches, okay? Because they know how hard it is. Okay, right, guys. Enjoy your day. Day 8. We got lots of work to do. Let's see what happens tomorrow. But hey, we're still here. And having said that, enjoy life.